YouTube? It's your girl Golden, back at it again with another freaking video. Okay, so I definitely feel like I'm a little bit more like comfortable with the camera right now. So we're gonna knock this video out. Your girl is tired. Okay, tired. I have been up since 4 o'clock this morning. 4 o'clock. And then been at work all day. Just now getting home. And all I want to do is go to sleep. But I promised a video. I keep my promises. So that's what we are about to freaking do, okay? When I'm done with this video, I'm going to clean my room. But I knew that if I didn't do it now, I wouldn't do it ever. Can I have some space? Some privacy? So let's just jump straight into what this video is about. Let's get straight into the video. So honestly, this video is pretty much like, it's probably gonna be like me kind of like sorting out my thoughts because it's not planned. I didn't write it down like I normally do or anything. It's really just me talking and me explaining what's been going on and why I've really been inconsistent So today is July 1st and I moved to Georgia for the first time a year ago, like in August, like August 1st. And I was here for all of like a week and then I left because of situations and stuff like that. And so I moved back to Florida and I immediately like busted, work hard and got a job because I was like, I'm not coming back home. I would rather just be in Florida. And it all kind of just really went downhill from there. Like, full transparency, it just went downhill from there. Like, I was struggling a lot more than I cared to like admit. I had just got this job, and that's a whole story time in itself, working at this place, and I only made like $9.50, and it was like a waitress job for real, and you would work like shifts, like you'd work doubles, and sometimes you'd be scheduled from like 10:30 to 2 o'clock and then 5 to close, and you would really get there at like 10:30 and then leave at like 11:30 because they're stupid, and then wouldn't come back until 5 o'clock. So I really wasn't making no money. My checks was like $300 and I had rent to pay, which was $300. I had phone, which was $75. I had insurance, and at that point my insurance was like, I had a 97 Mountaineer, so it was like $150, $200. And then, you know, on top of shopping and groceries, like, cause you need clothes, groceries and stuff like that. It was just a lot. It was a lot to do with only $9.50 and 2 paychecks a month. So it was really hard. Like, I was really like, I couldn't deal, and I was like really tripping. Like, the first breakdown that I had was I had called my mom and I was crying. Like, I was crying hard, and I was asking her for $20. Mind you, I'm 18 and I don't, you know, I live by myself or whatever, and I asked her for $20 and she didn't have it, and I'm just like crying because like I've been in this house, like all I did was work and stay in the house. I didn't go out, I didn't do like, you know, I didn't have fun no more. Like, I wasn't a kid, and that was like the first time that it really like hit me. But I was like still determined to do it by myself and make it by myself because coming home just wasn't an option. Yeah, so I was working, and then it was just like I was just like whatever, and I just got over it. And at that point it just wasn't okay. My mental health was not okay. I was struggling trying to keep up with all these bills, and I was struggling trying to like balance work and balance having friends and going out and being a teenager. Like, I think within that whole year I went to the movies twice. I think I only went clothes shopping once. And I really like, it was just hard. So I really just started self-medicating. Like, it wasn't, looking back on it, to me it wasn't a problem then, but it's definitely a problem like looking at it now. Like, you realize the signs, and I was just like, I was literally high and drunk every day. I would work, come home, drink a cup of wine, and then I would smoke a blunt later that night. Like, I was just self-medicating and didn't even realize that I was doing that. it was my way of being okay with just being in the house. Now, don't get me wrong, there was people along the way, like certain people that really did make an impact. Like, one was my brother Devin. Like, he was there, he was my rock, he was always on time, and we lived 40 minutes apart, and whenever he could, we would try to see each other, even if 2-3 months had went by or whatever, and we would talk, and we would discuss like me starting my YouTube, because this is before I started YouTube. I started YouTube in January. This is back in like November, October. And you know, I met this one girl at my job who like just made the highlight of my day. She was like really there for me when I needed her to be, and I couldn't ask for more. And then at that point I was like, okay, I'm struggling, don't got no money. So I went and found 3 jobs. Like, dead ass was applied, and I was accepted into 3 different jobs. So one was a call center, and it was Dial America, and the other one was the place that I was at, which was Nukes, and then the other one was Chipotle. And at that time I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna sleep, but I'm gonna have money and my bills are gonna be paid for, and then I'll be able to have money left over. Because literally it was like bills, gas, groceries, rent, car insurance, and then whatever was left after that $10-$20 was just me buying what I needed to buy. And so then I was just like, dang, having 3 jobs is gonna be trippy, and figured out. But I had worked out a nice schedule, and then one day a silver lining had happened, and I had, at Chipotle I was offered like way more money, and I was like, it was for a kitchen manager position. And so I wound up cutting off the Dial America job and just working there. And I worked for both of them, and I worked at Nukes for like 1 more month while I was working at Chipotle, basically during my training. And Nukes is a whole nother story time, but I worked there, and then I cut that off because again, it was negativity and all this negative vibes and stuff like that. It was just not working. So now you would think, because I got this job and I'm making more money or whatever, then it would just be peachy, but it wasn't peachy. Like, then it seemed like more stuff was happening. Like in December, my truck broke down in the middle of the road. Like while I was turning, it broke down, it was dead, it was done for, it was over. And thankfully I had, ways to work around that, thanks to my aunt. But then it was just like more stuff kept happening, and I was getting homesick, and there was stuff going on like behind the scenes, and I really just was not dealing with anything properly. Like, I'm the strong friend, the friend that takes care of everybody, that gives advice, the friend that seemingly has no issues and stuff like that. And when you're that friend, people will check up on you, but they don't check up on you the way that you would check up on them, because you're like, I have a hard exterior, and I'm always happy, and I'm always laughing, and I'm always goofy. So people really don't know. And again, that's not nobody's fault, and that's mine. And that was one thing that I learned to work on, which was talking about what the issue was when there was an issue. So at this point now, it's like January, and my second breakdown, my January, and I'm like, okay, I'm saving up for this car. And then there was stuff that was happening with the car, and it wasn't working out, and then it was just more stuff just kept going wrong, from tires popping to this happening to like, family stuff. It was just so much, and I just felt like I just had so much to do, and I literally like blocked myself out from the world. Like, I didn't go outside, I didn't speak to people. There was like 4 people that I talked to at this point in time. So then the second breakdown was in February, because I convinced myself that I was happy, that I was fine, I was gonna do it, it was gonna be perfect. And that's when I started YouTube, and I genuinely was happy. I was genuinely happy and satisfied, and I was making my videos, and I was laughing, and I was gaining my subscribers and stuff. And then I just randomly stopped. I randomly stopped, and it wasn't random, it was random to you guys, but to me it was like, then I had hit my second breakdown, and it really just hit the fan. Like, I was in work crying in a corner on the phone with my mom, and I just could not take it no more. I was struggling to stay afloat. I was literally I just didn't feel like me. I didn't feel like I had time to be a kid. I felt like I had to grow up before I was ready to grow up, and taking care of all this stuff and doing all these things. And freaking sucked. Like, I was literally going through so much. And it's funny now looking back on it that I really just did not take care of myself properly. Like, I didn't mentally take care of myself and make sure that me and me was good. You feel me? So I was in there, I was crying, and my mom sent me to a therapist. And she actually was like pretty cool, and I kind of wish that I could have continued like sessions, because she was like helping a girl figure some stuff out. It's funny that I counsel everybody and don't really know what to do for myself. So now I'm in therapy and I'm thinking that everything's going okay, and you know, I start getting outside more and hanging out with not new people, but hanging out with people and stuff like that. And then it was still draining, because it felt like now that I was finally in a space where I was, you know, just focusing on what makes me happy and doing what makes me happy. Now I've got a car again, and I'm kind of like, you know, trying to play catch up, trying to save, trying to pay off bills and credit cards and whatnot. And it seemed like now that I'm like out of the house and going about and doing what I want to do, now all of a sudden people like, oh, you're changing and you don't come around no more and da-da-da-da. And they probably could have been right, but in my mindset, I felt like when I was sitting in the house by myself all the time, and I was sitting here like drinking myself to death and smoking myself to death, nobody really noticed it. But now that I'm out and about and I'm not there on speed dial when people call because I'm doing something else, I'm the bad guy. That's what it felt like to me. And you know, everybody has a different perception and different perspectives. So then that happened, and sorry guys, I'm low-key like low-key just trying to get it all out, because I've worked this out with myself, but I did want to do this video just to really kind of like give a timeline, sort of. But yeah, so now that's happening, and then there's discussions talking about me coming back and me moving back to Georgia and everything. And it seemed like all the drama happened when I was ready to leave. Like, I thought that I was going through some drama, and I was going, it was just a lot for a small 18-year-old child to deal with and stuff like that. But then it was like, it got even worse when I was about to leave and fall out with friends, and there was family issues, and it was just so much. So we got here, and it was like 2 days before my birthday. And on my birthday, the day of my birthday, there was something that unfortunate that happened in my family. And it felt like when that situation happened, I was blamed for it. And I'm saying it felt like that to me because, again, different, whatever. But it felt like I was being blamed for it. So on top of getting, you know, dealing with these behind the scenes drama, then this catastrophic event happens to my family, and it was like it was all on me. I was the one getting yelled at and this and that, and it sucks. Like, it took a lot. And I didn't handle it well, I guess. I think that was pretty much the straw that like broke the camel's back. And after all the stuff that I had been through that year, and having to, you know, not be able to go to school, and having to deal with all these things that I shouldn't have been dealing with, and being in the middle of all this stuff and struggling myself, I guess I just like snapped. And the reason that I felt like this video was important is because I finally made a decision that I'm comfortable with. This is the first time that I have done a video, or, you know, made posted a picture or whatever, and I'm not really necessarily going to point it out. I feel like if you're looking at me right now, then you should see it. But I didn't handle the situation really well, and I had to spend some time away from home. And because I'm in a better headspace, and I really want to do this, and I really want to make it work, and I really want to just like start hustling again, I felt like it was important for me to have this conversation. One, so people can get a little insight on what was going on and why I disappeared, and then also because I'm not gonna cover it up. Like, I'm not covering it up. I'm not gonna act like it's not there. I'm not gonna hide it. and I talk a lot with my hands, and I'm like really vibrant and stuff like that. So I wanted to be the one to address it before I seen like a comment like, oh, what's that, or what happened, or whatever. So all I'm really saying is I didn't have a good reaction, and I went in, I got the necessary help that I needed, and I'm in a way better headspace, and I'm genuinely happy this time. And I'm not saying that it's all perfect and it's not gonna have its bad days, but I'm genuinely in a better mindset, and I'm genuinely happier and healthier and ready to take control of my life and start living my life for me and not living my life for everybody else, because that's what I've been doing and that's all that I know how to do. So that pretty much wraps up this video, and I have some surprises for you guys this week, the videos that I am dropping, so be on the lookout for that, because I've made it up in my mind that your girl is gonna drop a video every day this week, build up that momentum, and show you guys that I can be consistent and not break my promise. So that's all I have to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and come join the family, because what are you doing if you're not joining the family? Period. Big facts. Okay. So make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's be a part of this. Let's watch Golden grow up, and let's have fun, and let's go enjoy life. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a freaking story time. Peace.